and welcome back to another one of our lovely one-on-one sessions on how to cope without therapy. So guess what? After Sunday and after yesterday, here we are, Monday evening. And I promised you that I will tell you a little bit more about the theory of mind and Gestalt psychology. And the reason why I want to do that, it has nothing to do with you trying to remember any kind of technical stuff, but it is a little bit of science that sort of it will help you understand a bit more the mechanism of how we react, how we interpret other people, how we're trying to figure them out. And yesterday I was also telling you that the theory of mind is something that in developmental psychology it's actually proven so that children around age 3 and 4, by age of 4, they already developed the capacity to understand and figure out that other people, others, can think and have different ideas, different emotions, different thoughts, different beliefs, different from what they know. And this happens for various reasons. We're not going to get into them now. You remember that nurture versus nature argument? Well, there's a lot of that. There's play, there's social interaction, there's parents' attachment, and all of those lovely things. The thing is, children are able to actually understand that their friends, other kids, other people, other grown-ups around them think differently. And what actually that brings in to each and every one of us as we grow and develop from there, we get actually quite better at it. We improve at it so much. I found for you, if you're interested or not, my point is I'd like you to believe that I'm not just coming up with these things. There's actually science behind it and research and everything. But one of the recent articles that was published on a psychology platform that it's called Very Well Mind, and just verywellmind.com, and the essay itself was published by Kendra Cherry in April 2020. And it's all about how the theory of mind helps us understand others. And I reckon when it comes to understanding others, we try and we do our best to put a good effort into it. So giving that a read would probably help with few basics and few cues, few tips as to what motivates other people to react the way they do, or believe the way they do, or feel the way they do, when you've got that interrelation and interconnection with them. So the bottom line of theory of mind, it's all about the capacity of understanding others and the differences that make us unique. You know, I may believe in unicorns and probably you don't. And that doesn't mean that you're wrong or I'm wrong. It's just that I think they're fluffy and cute and nice. So there you go. It's not going to hurt, or it's not going to make anyone else happy. But it will give you a little bit of an understanding as to why, for example, I like fluffy slippers, because of that. So the theory of mind helps you construct and understand and put together pieces as to how and why someone reacts to you or with you in a particular way. Now, the thing is, as much as we get better at it from 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on, even if you arrive at 47, like me, you don't get it right all the time. You just don't, purely because we do not know, we cannot know exactly what other people think. We assume, or we're trying to piece together a puzzle and figure that out. But even the figuring out, it's merely just our interpretation of it. And this little trail of thought brings me to the next little topic, which is Gestalt psychology. Gestalt, it's a German word, and I'm not going to give you a linguistic lesson. You could Google it afterwards, but it's easier to think of it as a configured formation. And the essence of Gestalt psychology is that you can have pieces, standalone pieces that mean something on their own, but then when you put them together, that formation, that configuration, all of a sudden has a brand new meaning. So, an example as to when will you have when was the last time that you actually had an aha moment? Like you just had that little bit of realization that, okay, I get it now. Now I understand. Now, because whatever that happened, whatever that situation was, you just got your final piece of the puzzle. And all of a sudden, your formation, your configuration that your mind came up with, all of a sudden, the brain said, I know this, I recognize this is what it means. Hello, aha moment, there you go. Yeah, so think of it this way. Think of it that sometimes, just like the theory of mind, you know the pieces and you know the puzzle, or you purely see them or observe them when it comes to interacting with others. Perhaps seeing or observing is not the most difficult thing. Understanding what drives those reactions or what motivates those reactions, that I promise you that is even a bigger of a doozy than the German Gestalt word. So we're going to talk about that some other time because I've got some cute examples for you there. The thing is, an example of everyday life when it comes to understanding pieces, formation, configuration, why certain things actually have meaning on their own, but then you put them all together and wow, you get it. Now you understand why. So I don't know how many of you have not, are not married. Let's take marriage for example. Marriage, yes, I am gonna go there. Marriage, if you're one of the lucky 1% in this world and you found your soulmate when you were in high school and you married them and you're still happy and you're 73 and you're gonna live another 20 years and you're gonna still be happy, congratulations, you can just close the video right now. This is not for you. But if you are one of those 99%, then you know that marriage is not easy. Marriage takes not just work. I wouldn't even call it work. It just takes pieces of your soul that you put together in a formation with pieces of someone else's soul. And sometimes, for those of you, I don't know what's the percentage there, I haven't actually checked the statistic, but there are a lot of marriages that don't make it. And the truth, the pure soul, unpeeled truth about marriages that fail, they never fail on that day. They never fail on the date of your divorce or when you split up. Marriages fail way before that. And most of the times it's because we put together pieces of our soul with pieces of someone else's soul, And we think we understand, and we think we've got a good formation there, and we rely on that. And when a marriage starts breaking up, you've got that feeling something's wrong, and certain pieces no longer click, and they no longer connect. And you're wondering, like, why? What's going on? What is it that you're doing wrong? And you're trying harder. And it just turns out you fail to understand what someone else is thinking. And the beauty in this process, and trust me, it is a process, and there is a beauty in it, that some of us actually have that aha moment, and they go, one day they go, now I get it. Now I understand. It has nothing to do with my soul piece or your soul piece. It's just that as a whole, when you put them together, they don't make sense. They no longer do. Your mind, your brain develops, is different. Every day it changes, and not just yours. And this is where the beauty is of that lovely 1%, because if minds and brains and marriages and soul and life happen to change in the same direction at the same pace, then you're still there in that 1%. The moment things get tangled, then it's pretty much I wouldn't call it work. Again, it's not work. It's being clumsy at living. That's what it is. Clumsy at living. And one day you realize that configuration of yours didn't really make much sense, or the sense that it made 2, 3, 5, 7, 9 years ago when you thought it did. Today, or 8 months ago when it all crumbled, you are a different person. You are a different person. The other significant one is a different person. And you can say you failed. You can say they failed. You can place the failure in whatever side of the camp. But the truth is, you only changed. Both of you just changed. It's as simple as that. I'm going to read you something just to give you a bit of an idea. Remember this book? Remember this lovely 600 something pages, the Introduction to History of Psychology of Helge Hans, on lovely page 438. About, I think it's at 433, it starts talking about Gestalt psychology in a much nicer way than I condensed it for you today. But the bit that I want to tell you about is Gestalt has, pretty much every psychology trend or theory, they come up with certain models or hypotheses or laws of some sort. This one in particular, when I say laws, I don't mean the Marriage Act, not at all. I mean more like the law of gravity. Yeah, you drop something, it will fall. Ta-da! Law of gravity. This one law that is all about explaining the mechanism, the machination of what Gestalt or configuration is about. It's called, another German word, law of pregnance, and it does not have a pure equivalent in English. And the book says the best you can think of it, an approximation, is full with meaning or precise. But for those of you that speak any other languages, pregnant is actually not pregnant as in baby, pregnant. It's a different accent, and it means the one that sticks from the background. Yeah. So to me it makes perfect sense what law of Prägnanz is. I don't expect it does to you, but guess what? Here it goes. The law of Prägnanz states that psychological organizations or configurations or formations or thoughts, if you like, will always be as good as conditions allow under the prevailing circumstances, just as with other physical force fields. The law of Prägnanz asserts that all cognitive experiences will tend to be as organized, simple, and regular as they can be given the pattern of brain activity at any given moment. So, all your thoughts, the way your mind works, basically can be either as organized, as simple, or as asymmetrical as it can be in the conditions at that particular point in time, given the pattern of brain activity at any given moment. This is what as good as conditions allow means. So, my point is, don't call it failure, don't call it work. We're just different and we like it that way. Why? Because we all love our minds. Because our minds are nice and pretty and beautiful and interesting and unique. And so are we. Thank you very much. I'm Gabriela, and I'll see you again tomorrow.